Welcome, students. Welcome to Intro to Human Services. Chapter 1 is an exploration of the helping professions and are they right for you? Students become interested in the human services for a variety of reasons. The common reason that I hear is because I want to help others, or I enjoy working with people. Let's take a look at these reasons a little more in depth. The need to care for others may come from being a protector, peacemaker, and caretaker in your own family at an early age. Although this pattern is not necessarily problematic, it is important that such helpers become aware of their own dynamics and learn how they function in both their personal and professional lives. One of the pitfalls of being a caregiver to significant people in your life is that very often no one attends to your needs. As a result, you may not have learned to ask for what you need. You can easily become personally and professionally burned out or emotionally exhausted if you do not learn to ask for help for yourself. Learning to say no and setting personal limits and boundaries are crucial components of self-care. Professional resiliency is the ability to strike a healthy balance between taking care of others and taking care of yourself. You must be able to take care of yourself in order to be effective with others. The need to make an impact is important to make a positive difference in someone's life. However, we also need to be aware that not all clients are interested or willing to make changes. If your worth as a person is too dependent upon your need to make a difference, you may likely become disillusioned or disappointed. The need to reciprocate is the desire to emulate a role model. So let's say you had someone really significant in your life and you wanted to be just like them. The phrase "pay it forward" illustrates this idea. An interest in helping others may also stem from an interest in dealing with the impact of your own struggles. One of the authors talks about professionals who have experienced wounded spirit and need to be open to questioning their own spiritual health so that they can be of assistance to their clients as they struggle with their own existential concerns of loss, grief, trauma, and stressful life events. If you are not on your own road to healing, it is unlikely that you'll be effective in helping others. Or conversely, because a particular path worked for you, you assume that everyone else needs to recover using only that same path. For example, when working with addicted clients, you believe that all clients may need to attend 90 self-help meetings in 90 days because that is what worked for you. So you make the same referrals and pitch to all of the addicted clients that you work with, and you don't seem to realize that there are many paths to recovery. The need to be needed. Very few helpers are immune to the need to be needed. It can be psychologically rewarding to have clients say that they are getting better because of your influence. These clients are likely to express their appreciation for the hope that you have given them. Satisfying this need is perhaps one of the greatest rewards of being a helper. We do not want the clients to terminate counseling before their needs are met, but we do not also want them to remain in counseling long after they have met their therapeutic goals. One of our primary aims as helpers is to empower the clients to help themselves. The need for recognition and status. Working in the human services field, you will be able to earn a decent living and still be able to help clients and families. The need for recognition can be satisfied through your work with your team and from your supervisor and/or agency. But most human services workers find the recognition is secondary to the passion and the reward that they feel in helping their clients achieve their goals. Many staff will say that the rewards and recognition they receive from helping the clients is far more worth it than any money or recognition. In addition, many agencies do have opportunities to continue your education and/or they provide training and supervision so that you can grow in your profession. The need to provide answers. Some students seem to have a need to give others advice and to provide the right answers. They may say that they feel inadequate if friends come to them with a problem, and they are not able to give them concrete advice. Yet really, what clients and friends need is to be listened to and cared for, rather than be told what they should do. Many times there is not even a correct answer at all. As a helper, your purpose is actually not to give advice, but rather to help the client explore different options and what is right for them. No need to provide the answer. The need for control. Examples of this are when working with clients, you feel the need to tell others what to do, think, or feel, and you may have a strong need to change the way that the client behaves. If you feel the need to provide solutions to every problem the client presents, then you are meeting your own needs rather than working in the best interests of your client. In your role as a helper, it is best to teach others how to regain effective control of their own lives. There is a saying, "Tell me, and I may remember, show me, and I may learn, but involve me, and I will change my world." In many counseling programs, including at Cuesta College, instructors expect their students to examine their own vulnerabilities, struggles, and faulty beliefs as part of the process of becoming effective helpers. These programs are based on the premise that it is as much the wounded parts of us as the healthy parts that drive us to become helpers. Students are asked to examine the ways in which their personal issues and psychological histories will be an asset or a liability in their professional work as a helper. Along these lines, in this course, under the File menu on the left, you will find an opportunity to work personally with journal writing so that you may become aware of your own personal strengths and weaknesses as a helper, understanding where these strengths and weaknesses came from, and how they may help or hinder your future work as a helper. These journal writing activities are not required for this course. They will not be shared with your instructor or with your fellow students, nor is the journal writing a graded activity. This opportunity is provided to you as an additional tool for self-awareness as you move forward in your career development. As a manager who does a lot of final round interviewing and hiring, these are some of the answers I love to hear during the interview. Questions will come up such as, why do you want to be a helper? What do you bring to the job that no one else does? What are your strengths and weaknesses? in becoming a drug and alcohol specialist or a case manager. Beginning a career is not always easy and can involve anxiety and uncertainty. Although at this point I certainly feel more confident than when I was in the beginning of my career, I have not forgotten our own struggles. We too had to cope with many of the fears and self-doubts discussed in the previous few slides. One of my earliest fears, because I'm not in recovery myself, was, will I be able to help anyone with a substance use disorder? The first client I had asked me this same question, and so having the self-awareness of how to answer this question in a respectful but also inquisitive manner really helped me grow. Ultimately, I personally decided that I needed to walk the walk and talk the talk, and currently, although again I'm not claiming to be in recovery, I have not had a drink, drug, or smoke in over 30 years. This is a personal choice that I have made, and I continue to this date. As you read the descriptions of the various helping professions, think about the characteristics that match up with your own needs. Students enrolled in community college degrees have a wide variety of job options. You may choose to work to get some experience in your field or in a range of fields as you are attending college or after you finish your degree. At a later point, then you may choose to return to school for an advanced degree. As you look over the roles of the helping professions, try to determine what are the populations of people that you would like to work with. Is it school-aged children? Is it adults or older adults? Do you enjoy working with people with drug and alcohol problems or other traumas? At this point, don't be too concerned about making the right decision, rather remembering that your career development is an ongoing process. Here are some of the work values, and work values are defined as values that you hold about your job. Consider discovering which work values are most important to you. And again, remember, they may change during your different stages in your career development. Look at your textbook on pages 28 to 34. This is a self-inventory, which is an ongoing process for all helping professionals. Consider this like a pretest at the beginning of your journey to becoming a helper. There are no right or wrong answers. Rather, this is a survey of your basic beliefs, attitudes, and values on specific topics related to the helping professions at this point in your development. Remember, your career development is an ongoing process and develops over time with exposure, learning, and discussions with others. So after you finish the self-assessment tool, in the discussion forum for Chapter 1, you will be asked to finish the tool and rate your beliefs at this point in your career development. In your discussion post, then you will write about a minimum of 3 of the areas. Remember, your discussion post should be a minimum of 350 words for the maximum points. And you will also post comments on at least 2 other students in a meaningful way. Do the discussion forum by clicking Next for Chapter 1, and then take the quiz on Chapter 1, and then go on to Chapter 2.